Good evening, and welcome to our final awards ceremony of the 2020 National Tournament. What? Oh, bring him here, Amy. What? You've got to be, okay. What? All right, fine. We'll hear from him.
Hey guys, Josh Gad here, singer, actor, the occasional snowman. Speech and debate and the national tournament helped me achieve my dreams by, basically preparing me for the competitive lifestyle of being an actor, giving me poise, giving me a sense of presence, giving me a sense of determination and a fierce sense of if you want something, then you got to put everything into it to achieve it.
Welcome again to our final awards ceremony of the 2020 National Tournament. In case you missed it, last night we named our national champions in debate. And while tonight we will honor our winners in speech and debate, supplemental events, and school awards, the debate finals did get me thinking. Because if there's one thing that debaters love, they love a good statistic. So I thought maybe tonight we'd kick it off and share a few data points of our own. If all my judges are ready, I'll begin. We began the week with over 6,600 competitors from more than 1,400 schools, ready to be judged by nearly 3,500 community members. We supported you as you navigated these new experiences through 900 separate Zoom rooms and nearly 4,000 Zoom meetings with support from over 300 volunteers, answering more than 5,000 helpline tickets and sending more than, wait for it, 2,600,000 individual emails and texts about the tournament. Sorry about that. This week, we heard your voices. We heard 11,600 congressional speeches taking a stance on issues of the day. We heard 9,200 carefully researched and crafted arguments on timely debate topics. 12,400 times literature was brought to life. 7,300 times someone was informed or persuaded and prompted to pause, think, and react. And we asked today's question 4,000 individual times in extemp. Tonight, we will continue our recognition of many incredible award winners who in total across the tournament have earned more than 3,000 awards. And speaking of awards, our next guest knows a little bit about winning an award or two. Josh Gad is an actor, comedian, and singer. He is known for voicing Olaf in Disney's Frozen franchise, playing Elder Arnold Cunningham in the Broadway musical The Book of Mormon, and LeFou in the live-action adaptation of Disney's Beauty and the Beast. For his role as Olaf, Josh won 2 Annie Awards, and for his work on The Book of Mormon, he gained a Tony Award nomination for Best Actor in a Musical. Josh is also an NSDA alum from NSU University School. As a student, he took the final round stage by storm, winning the 1998 National Championship in Original Oratory and the 1999 National Championship in both Humorous Interpretation and Original Oratory. Over the years, Josh has used his platform to spread awareness about speech and debate. He has delivered the keynote speech at our summer education conference, created PSAs about the activity, and served as a spokesperson for National Speech and Debate Education Day. Josh is one of the most active public faces of our activity, and I couldn't think of a better representative. Please join me in welcoming back to the 2020 National Tournament our 2020 Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, Josh Gad.
I am so unbelievably honored to receive this award, the 2020 National Speech and Debate Association Alumni Lifetime Achievement Award. That's a lot to say on one breath. But this is, this means a lot to me. This is the reason that I am who I am, the reason that I have done the things that I've done is so very much because of speech and debate. I got started doing speech in about 8th grade. I did a duo called Lone Star, and I just had the best time and realized that I really wanted to keep pursuing it. And so, I kept challenging myself, kept doing different things, did a humorous interp called Laughter on the 23rd Floor by Neil Simon my freshman year. Then did a dramatic piece called Marty my sophomore year, and I took 3rd at nationals. And I thought that was the culmination of all that I had hoped to do. And my coach, Brent Pasola, he said, you should try your hand at, this is the way he talked. He said, you should try your hand at something else. Why don't you give yourself a new challenge? And so I did. I wrote an original oratory, which I had no business doing, I thought. And I won my first national debate tournament. And then my senior year, I was blessed enough to come back and do The Wizard of Oz as a humorous interpretation and Hoo-Ha, which was my final original oratory. All of those moments remain to me as prized and as memorable and as wonderful as playing Olaf in Frozen, as playing LeFou in Beauty and the Beast, as playing Elder Cunningham in the Book of Mormon. These things are each milestones in a career that was paved on the road to speech and debate, and the greatness of those I was surrounded by, the greatness of people like you guys who challenged me, who inspired me, who taught me. And so this represents really my gratitude to all of you. I should be giving you this because, frankly, it's the National Speech and Debate Association that prepared me for the career that I now have. So thank you guys. I'm sorry we can't all be together. I'm sure we will one day soon. I've lost all of my speaking skills since leaving high school, by the way. I no longer can speak. That's something that I really miss. But I hope I get to see you guys all soon. It's a weird time to be alive, but we keep persevering, as this clearly shows. So thank you. Be well.
At this time, I'd like to introduce Pam Wyckoff, President of the Association's Board of Directors, to welcome you here tonight.
On behalf of the Board of Directors, it is my pleasure to welcome you to this awards celebration. Without a doubt, the year 2020 will stand out in the 95-year history of our organization. Moving to an online tournament has tested all of us. The Board of Directors in weighing the pros and cons of offering an online tournament and in ensuring that it would be conducted in an equitable way. The NSTA staff having to reconfigure the entire event in the short amount of time available. And our volunteers who make this tournament run, witnessing the transformation of their roles leading up to and during the tournament. And you, the coaches and students, preparing for the national tournament in a whole new way, adapting to an online environment and translating skills into a virtual platform. And yet, despite all these challenges, one thing has not changed. Students, you earned your way into these online rooms. No one gave it to you. You exhibited excellence. You are the best of the best in your district, in your area of the country or world. But in concrete terms, what does that mean? Well, let's break it down. Of the 140,000 students eligible to compete in the national tournament, 5,073 qualified for nationals. By virtue of being here, you are among the top 4% of all competitors. If you advanced to the semifinal round, you are amongst the 1/20th of 1% of all competitors. And if you are in the top 6, you are in a league of 1/10 of 1%. Every competitor in this tournament should take great pride in their accomplishment and for their willingness to make the choice to be part of this historic online event. At last night's awards ceremony, I shared with the debaters and middle schoolers my feeling of pride, the entire board of directors' pride in their perseverance and determination and grit to compete in this tournament despite all the challenges they had to face. And this is also true for you. You have all stretched to new heights, demonstrating your determination and dedication to this activity and the strength of our community as a whole. After all, for us, words matter. Michelle Obama is most famous for this saying, but we have adopted this expression because it captures part of what is important about our activity. Words matter. And students, the amazing thing about your words is that they represent action. When you debate the validity and effectiveness of an action or choices. When you speak, your words are the motivation for someone to act by evoking thoughts and emotions in someone who otherwise could not walk in your shoes or consider another perspective. Your words, backed by passion and honed through practice, have power. Words matter. Congratulations to everyone for your willingness to share your message and for your willingness to let others hear and react to your message. Yes, 2020 will be a standout year, and you are 5,073 standout students who are a part of that history and who will continue to make history despite the challenges that lie ahead. Keep using your voice, your words, your message to make a difference. We are speech and debate. Let the celebration begin.
As we all know, the national tournament would not be possible without the wonderful work of more than 200 tournament officials who work throughout the week to ensure a wonderful and fair competition. The association thanks those of you who have served on a tab staff for your efforts and extends a special thanks to its speech and supplemental event chairs. Matt Good, Rosie Valdez Block, Kyle Howe, Michael Starks, Jamel Brown, Christy Hodgkiss, Sammy Womack, and Greg Malice. I also want to give a special thanks to those individuals that served this past week as our equity officers. Those individuals were Chair Scott Baker, Jackie Young, Adam Nelson, Angelique Renaud, Ed Lee, Jan Pizzo. Thank you so much for your volunteerism. Throughout the year, the members of our board of directors work tirelessly to represent you, the membership, as our organization strives to fulfill its mission to connect, support, and inspire a diverse community committed to empowering students through competitive speech and debate. Their efforts this week in helping the national office staff and local hosts run such a fabulous tournament are greatly appreciated. Please join me in thanking our National Board of Directors, President Pam Katie Wyckoff, Vice President Dr. Tommy Lindsay Jr., Byron Arthur, Dr. Mike Edmonds, David Houston, Adam J. Jacoby, Jennifer M. Jerome, Renee Motter, Timothy E. Sheaf, Tom Rollins, and Robert Runcie. Okay, here we go. To get the rest of the show underway, please welcome that dynamic duo, those two incredible voices, your MCs for the night, Jackie Young and Timothy Sheaf.
Thank you, Scott. We will begin our awards tonight with the 6 finalists in storytelling, presented by Bob and Sally Stockton. As we crown our first national champions, we regret not being able to present the traditional lays to each winner. However, we thank the contingency from Hawaii for arranging the lays for the awards assembly and to infuse the same spirit into our production. And now your winners in storytelling are, thank you also for turning on those videos so we can make sure we can see you. In 6th place, Anthony Lewis from Democracy Prep Harlem Prep High in New York, coached by Sarah Rosenberg, Luis Gardines, Norberto Troncoso. In 5th place, Aspen McCart from Eagle Crest High School in Colorado, coached by Ashley McCullough and Sejun Young. In 4th place, Robbie Mitcherman from Clanhasson High School in Minnesota, coached by Jim Fedge. Placing 3rd in storytelling and receiving a $250 scholarship from Bob and Sally Stockton is Katie Dinsmore from O'Gorman High School in South Dakota, coached by Teresa Fester and Chloe Golddale. Placing 2nd in storytelling and receiving a $500 scholarship from Bob and Sally Stockton is Matthew Meyer from O'Gorman High School in South Dakota, coached by Teresa Fester, and your champion in storytelling, receiving a $1,000 scholarship from Bob and Sally Stockton, is Rand Meyer from Valley International Prep in California, coached by Ian Lampert. Congratulations to you, all of you. Next, we will see our 6 finalists in prepared prompt speaking. Please turn on your cameras. Your winners in prepared prompt speaking are as follows, presented by Bob and Sally Stockton. In 6th place, Caden Denning from Coral Academy of Science in Las Vegas in Nevada, coached by Amanda Sloan. In fifth place, Sharia Iyer from Munster High School in Indiana, coached by Don Fortner. And in fourth place, Deborah Berjomo from Trinity School in Texas, coached by John Klassen. In third place, in prepared prompt speaking and receiving a $250 scholarship from Bob and Sally Stockton is Laurel Hawley from Riversdale High School in South Carolina, coached by Heather Brown, McGregor Cook, David DeJasa, Jinsu Kim, and Pete Martin. Placing second in prepared prompt speaking, receiving a $500 scholarship from Bob and Sally Stockton is Kritika Sethi from Rivers High School in South Carolina, coached by Heather Brown, McGregor Cook, DeJasa, Jinsu Kim, and Pete Martin. And your champion in prepared prompt speaking, receiving a $1,000 scholarship from Bob and Sally Stockton is Sarah George from Marquette High School in Missouri, coached by Kate Sanazaro, Ray Holmes, Jocelyn Nebel, Thies. Congratulations to all of you. And now to prose reading. Let's continue unveiling the 2020 national champions. Congratulations again to all of you in prose reading, which is being presented and sponsored by Western Kentucky University. Western Kentucky University is a longtime sponsor of the National Speech and Debate Association, granting scholarships to multiple national champions. The WKU forensics team recognizes the importance of giving back to the community and believes in helping students of all ages achieve academic distinction. Now to your winners in prose reading. In sixth place, Denzel Rodriguez from Democracy Prep Harlem in New York, coached by Sarah Rosenberg, Luis Cardenas, Norberto Troncoso. In fifth place, Nina Pluvicio from St. Joseph's High School in New York, coached by David Risley. And in fourth place, Marcus Gadsden from Catholic Memorial School in Massachusetts, coached by Brother Anthony K. Cavett. In third place, and receiving a $250 scholarship is Samutu Inkaruwe from Westmoor High School in Oklahoma, coached by Billy J. Ellis and Lauren Berry. And in second place, in prose reading, receiving a $500 scholarship is Neely Robertson from Laurel Christian School in Mississippi, coached by Anita Boyd, and your champion in prose reading, receiving a $1,000 Western Kentucky University scholarship is Jaden Rocaforte from Cheyenne East High School in Wyoming, coached by Ashley Schultz. Congratulations to all of you. And now to poetry reading, presented by St. John's College. In sixth place, we have Halima Siddiqui from Shrewsbury in Massachusetts. In fifth place, Breon Watts from Southland College Prep Charter High School in Illinois, coached by Cheryl Frazier. In fourth place, Anthony Lewis from Democracy Prep Harlem Prep High School in New York, coached by Sarah Rosenberg, Luis Cardenas, and Norberto Troncoso. And in third place, and receiving a $250 scholarship from St. John's College is Samir Khan from St. Andrew's Episcopal School in Mississippi, coached by Jarek Shields, Darren Mayer, and Ruthie Taylor. In second place, and receiving a $500 scholarship from St. John's College is Ren Thomas from Lincoln East High School in Nebraska, coached by Nick Harron and Ellie Bartz. And your champion in poetry reading, receiving a $1,000 St. John's College scholarship, is Joshua Timmons from Green Hill School in Texas, coached by Aaron Timmons and Cindy Timmons.
Jackie, we
Yes.
have one of those moments.
And
we
what is
have
that?
one of those moments.
And what is that?
In 2017, this young man won middle school poetry.
Oh, my
and
God.
Now he comes and does it in high school.
Did he really? A double congratulations to you, Ren. You did it again. Congratulations to all of you.
Upon his death in 2008, the National Speech and Debate Association founded an annual award named after Brother Gregory Rene Sterner. It was to become our Lifetime Service Award. This award was named after Brother Rene because annually we wanted to recognize an individual who had shown throughout their lifetime incredible dedication in service as a servant leader to the National Speech and Debate Association. It is my honor and privilege this year to name the Brother Gregory Rene Sterner Award after an individual who is incredibly close to my heart. When I started as executive director in the fall of 2003, this individual worked at the National Speech and Debate Association and had done so for over a decade. Little did she know that her first task would be to take on the responsibility of being named as my executive assistant. And then over the course of a decade, she dedicated herself continuously to the membership of the Speech and Debate Association and truly lived out the tenets of our honor code. What I can say to you about Jackie Oakes is that the start of my career as executive director and all of the things from 2003 through 2013 that were developed and established for this great organization had some little bit of influence of Jackie Oakes. But that little bit of influence each and every day as a servant leader has grown in tremendous impacts in the association. Jackie, I know you're online tonight listening. This is one of the greatest honors of my life, truly. This organization, my career, would not be the same if it hadn't been for your friendship, for your shepherding, and for your constant dedication to the youth of the National Speech and Debate Association. You and I both know, and all of your colleagues know, the countless late night hours that you spent ensuring that every membership was right, every entry in the national tournament was correct and fair. No one will ever be able to reach the level, Jackie, that you did and your dedication to me side by side as a partner all those years. Jackie, I thank you. And it is one of my greatest pleasures to award Jackie Oakes the Brother Gregory Rene Sterner Lifetime Service Award.
Being part of a team gives you more reason to celebrate and more moments to cherish throughout the competition year. It's even more meaningful when your team wins a school achievement award. We will honor those schools whose teams finish 21st through 40th position in speech or debate with a School of Honor award. We will honor those schools whose team finished in the top 20 in speech or debate with a School of Excellence award. We will honor those schools whose teams finished in the top 10 in combined speech and debate rounds with our top school achievement award, the School of Outstanding Distinction. Those schools winning a School of Outstanding Distinction award are not eligible for individual School of Honor or Excellence awards. So let's begin. Please join me in congratulating the following speech schools of honor. Battleground Academy in Tennessee, Chanhassen High School in Minnesota, Chesterton High School in Indiana, Cheyenne East High School in Wyoming, Claremont in California, Desert Vista High School in Arizona, Downers Grove South High School in Illinois, Dreyfus School of the Arts in Florida, East Ridge High School in Minnesota, Elk River Senior High School in Minnesota, George Washington High School in Colorado, Hawkins School in Ohio, Jackson High School in Ohio, Lakeville North High School in Minnesota, Mission San Jose High School in California, Munster High School in Indiana, Raymore Peculiar High School in Missouri, Ridge High School in New Jersey, Shrewsbury High School in Massachusetts, and Sioux City East High School in Iowa. Your speech, Schools of Honor. Now, please join me in congratulating the following debate schools of honor. Aberdeen Central High School in South Dakota, Bozeman High School in Montana, Egan High School in Minnesota, George Washington High School in Colorado, Guns Senior High School in California, Hamilton High School in Arizona, Henry Clay High School in Kentucky, Highland High School in Idaho, Mays High School in Kansas, Miraloma High School in California, Munster High School in Indiana, Northview High School in Georgia, Park Hill High School in Missouri, Shanghai American School in China, Thomas Jefferson HSST in Virginia, Tulsa, Washington in Oklahoma, University School in Ohio, Valley International Prep in California, West Lafayette Debate in Indiana, Wichita East in Kansas. Your debate schools of honor. And now it's time to move up a level. The speech schools of excellence. Albuquerque Academy in New Mexico, Apple Valley High School in Minnesota, Belleville West High School in Illinois, Choctaw Senior High School in Oklahoma, Comeau High School in Louisiana, Gabrielino High School in California, Grapevine High School in Texas, James Logan High School in California, Jasper High School in Texas, Millard North High School in Nebraska, Moorhead High School in Minnesota, O'Gorman High School in South Dakota, Phoenix Country Day School in Arizona, Plano Senior in Texas, Syosset High School in New York, the Potomac School in Virginia, Trinity Preparatory School in Florida, Tulsa, Washington in Oklahoma, University High School in Illinois, and Woodbury High School in Minnesota. Congratulations. And now, join me in congratulating the debate schools of excellence. Acton Boxborough Regional High School in Massachusetts, Audrey Kell High School in North Carolina, Bel Air in Texas, Bonita Vista High School in California, Carmel High School in Indiana, Doherty Valley High School in California, Hawkins School in Ohio, Isidore Newman School in Louisiana, Jenks High School in Oklahoma, John F. Kennedy High School in California, Lawrence Free State High School in Kansas, Lincoln East High School in Nebraska, Lincoln Southwest High School in Nebraska, Memorial in Texas, Peninsula High School in California, Bremen University High School RDFZ in China, Riverside High School in South Carolina, Taipei American School in Taiwan, Unionville in Pennsylvania, Washburn Rural High School in Kansas. Your debate schools of excellence. The ultimate achievement for any team in any given year is succeeding in both speech and debate events at the national tournament. The top 10 schools accumulating the most rounds when combining both speech and debate team members receive a School of Outstanding Distinction Award. Please join me in congratulating the following schools of outstanding distinction on their incredible achievements. American Heritage Plantation High School in Florida, Archbishop Mitty High School in California, Bellarmine College Preparatory in California, Cypress Bay High School in Florida, Durham Academy in North Carolina, Eastview High School in Minnesota, Monta Vista in California, Plano West Senior High School in Texas, St. Mary's Hall in Texas, Westmore High School in Oklahoma, your schools of outstanding distinction. At this time, we will move on to the Expository Speaking Awards. Would all the finalists in Expository Speaking please make their way to the visible room? In 6th place in Expository Speaking, Rand Mayer from Valley International Prep in California, coached by Ian Lampert. In 5th place, Annalie Anderson from Richwoods High School in Illinois, coached by Brent Watson, Alyssa Emanuelson, and Haley Conger. In 4th place, Jude Barakat from Kent Denver School in Colorado, coached by Ian Hopkins, Bailey Walker, Eddie Young, Bill McDonald, and James Davis. In 3rd place, and receiving a $250 scholarship, is Matthew Cole from Newton South High School in Massachusetts, coached by Lisa Honeyman. In 2nd place, and receiving a $500 scholarship, is Catherine Tersherko from Gwend Mercy Academy in Pennsylvania, coached by Corey Shea. And the champion of Expository Speaking, receiving a $1,000 scholarship from the National Speech and Debate Association, is Sahiba Tandon from Gwend Mercy Academy in Pennsylvania, coached by Corey Shea. Next up, with the 6 finalists in Brother Renee Sterner prepared commentary, please make their way to the Zoom room. Your prepared commentary winners are, in 6th place, Dylan Cowley from Del Barton School in New Jersey, coached by Lawan Faust and Mary Gormley. In 5th place, Eudora Sneed from Willard High School in Missouri, coached by Kathy Tubin. In 4th place, Julia Fenn from Air Academy High School in Colorado, coached by Renee Motter and Stephanie Botsford. In 3rd place, and receiving a $250 scholarship, is Christopher Wade from St. Andrew's Episcopal School in Mississippi, coached by Darren Mayer, Jarek Shields, and Ruthie Taylor. And placing 2nd in prepared commentary, receiving a $500 scholarship, Carly Dutcher from Valley International Prep in California, coached by Ian Lampert. The champion of Brother Renee Sterner prepared commentary, receiving a $1,000 scholarship from the National Speech and Debate Association, is Ryan Cohen from Bolivar High School in Missouri, coached by Ethan Samuels. And now, our final supplemental awards. Please join me in congratulating the 6 finalists in Extemporaneous Debate, presented by Colorado College. Colorado College was established as a coeducational institution in 1874 2 years before Colorado became a state. Today, it offers intensive learning that expands through and beyond the Rocky Mountain West, an exceptional location where adventure threads into each day. And your winners in extemporaneous debate are tied for 5th. Jessica Parrish from Greenwood Laboratory School in Missouri, Coach Heather Walters and Kristen Stout. Also tied for 5th. Ronit Dulia from Syosset High School in New York, coached by Lydia Esslinger. In 4th place, Robert Duncan from Louisville Senior High School in Ohio, coached by Katie Russell, Kayla Heredick, and Chris Camp. In 3rd place, Emma Patterson from Louisville Senior High School in Ohio, coached by Katie Russell, Kayla Hendrick, and Chris Camp. Placing 2nd in extemporaneous debate, Anna Reese from Ladue Horton Watkins High School in Missouri, coached by Molly Beck and Cassie Sambo, and in a 6-1 decision for the negative, champion of extemporaneous debate, receiving $500 Colorado College scholarship is Lillian Rhodes from Raytown High School in Missouri, coached by Zachary McGee and Sydney Crank. Let's give a big thank you to our sponsor, Colorado College.
Before I go on with the awards ceremony, I want to take a moment to do something that I normally don't do. Often I will take time on the national stage each summer to thank our staff, but I don't really take a special moment to recognize specifically the efforts that the staff made in a particular year. But this particular year, I want the world, I want the country to know that the individuals that you're seeing on that screen literally took a pause on almost everything in their lives on March 13th. They got together with Amy and I believe it was around Monday, March 16th, something like that. And we started to have a conversation about what it would be like to go online with the national tournament. We were shocked. The idea of what could happen in 90 days was, I don't know. I don't know that we could really imagine it. But that staff that you saw on the screen, they didn't hesitate. They took our lead and they said, you tell us how far, how high, you tell us what we need to do, and we will make sure it happens. And they have put their family lives, their lives on pause for 3 months to ensure that this unbelievable event happened. You know who you are. You know how much we care for you. Thank you so much for dedicating yourself to the association and to our family here. It is my pleasure to announce this year's recipient of the Frank Safara Director's Commendation. Introduced in 2014, the commendation is awarded annually to someone who has shown exemplary leadership as an educator and coach. Though I wish I could welcome her to the stage to receive this award, I'm proud to virtually honor Renee Moss from Miramar High School in Florida, this year's commendation recipient. 3 years ago, Renee's school was on the verge of dismantling their speech and debate program. She was a newly hired English teacher at a Title I urban school with over 85% of students on free and reduced lunch. Like many new coaches, she was handed a team with no speech and debate background to guide her. But Renee is not one to turn down a challenge. Within 2 years, that team of 7 went from the brink of extinction to a speech school of excellence. That recognition symbolized Renee's growth and hard work as a coach, as well as the strength of her team. But what she is most proud of is the change she made in the mindset of her students, of watching them come into their own and realize they're deserving of the same opportunities as anyone else. Because of the welcoming and empowering environment Renee created on her team, students were clamoring to join. Known by her team as Mama Moss, Renee has strong focus on academics and grades. She has created her own SAT prep class and works to make sure students have access to every opportunity. Every student who has graduated from her program, every single student has obtained a full scholarship to college. In addition to leading the program at Miramar, Renee has also worked closely with the National Uganda Debate Championship to expand their offerings and opportunities for their students. She is a crucial voice in our diversity and inclusion efforts at the NSDA. She served on our equity statement wording committee, helping to shape our commitment to model and foster an inclusive and equitable speech and debate experience for all. The speech and debate community is a better place with Renee in it. When schools across the country shifted to online learning, she took it upon herself to organize and host a series of final round watch parties. Over the course of 3 months, students and coaches across the country tuned in to watch final rounds and learn from live Q&As with past finalists about their performances. Our mission at the NSDA is to connect, support, and inspire a diverse community committed to empowering students through speech and debate. In a time of crisis, Renee stepped up to the plate, and did just that. When I asked if there was anything special she wanted to share with you all tonight, she said, if you don't say anything else, just say she wants her kids to fly and will do everything in her heart to build those wings. She is proud that her students believe they are worthy, that they can walk into any room with anyone and hold their own. Congratulations to a leader, servant leader, who could teach or coach in any room with anyone, our 2020 commendation recipient, Renee Moss.
And now on to our main speech events. We begin with the specialist and the finalist in informative speaking, presented by Eastern New Mexico University. The 6 finalists in informative speaking are recipients of the Making the Stage Scholarship provided by Joe and Pam Wyckoff in honor of Pam's parents, Bill and Bernita Campbell, and sister Pat Kruger. Because Joe and Pam believe the highest honor for students is to make the stage, each of the 6 finalists in informative speaking, regardless of placement, will receive a $500 scholarship. Now to your winners in informative speaking. In 6th place is Tess Segal from Cypress Bay High School in Florida, coached by Rachel West and Nick Mantecalvo. In fifth place, Tanny Washington from Deep Run High School in Virginia, coached by Cheryl Gibson. And in fourth place, Jeremiah Cox from Chaska High School in Minnesota, coached by Andrew Brady and Beverly Dials. And in third place, Cecilia Voss from Apple Valley High School in Minnesota, coached by Tizelle Voss. In second place, Lily Moorish from Ashland High School in Oregon, coached by Eliza Haas and Matt Meyer, and the national champion in informative speaking, receiving a $1,000 scholarship from Eastern New Mexico University, is William Moss from Chanhassen High School in Minnesota, coached by Travis Rother. Now to the President's Bowls. It is sponsored by Mr. and Mrs. Donis and Lovelia Roberts, recognizing the student who, according to the judges in the public speaking final rounds, won that final round. This year's President Bowls winner in informative speaking, receiving a $250 scholarship, is Lily Moores from Ashland High School in Oregon, coached by Eliza Haas and Matt Marr. Congratulations. Next, let's congratulate the finalists in the Carmendale Fernandez United States Extemporaneous Speaking, presented by the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation and Institute. The nonpartisan Ronald Reagan Great Communicator Debate Series aims to engage people whose first voting opportunity would take place in the upcoming elections. It culminates in a national championship hosted by the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library. Now to your winners. In United States Extemp speaking are, in sixth place, Sophie Wu from Woodbury High School in Minnesota, coached by Suzanne and Dylan White. In fifth place, Vakash Garathandan from Eastview High School in Minnesota, coached by Todd Herring. And in fourth place, Peter Aliski from Smoke Hill High School in Colorado, coached by Tom Tufoya, Joe Calaposonopo, and Carrie Faust. And in third place, and receiving a $250 scholarship, Jisnu Basu from Plano Senior in Texas, coached by Neil White. And placing second in United States Extemporaneous Speaking, receiving a $5,000 scholarship, is Adam Hammond from Jackson High School in Ohio, coached by Ben McEwen, and the national champion in Carmendale Fernandez, United States Extemporaneous Speaking, receiving a $1,000 scholarship from the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation and Institute, is James Gow from Ridge High School in New Jersey, coached by David Ustremski and David Norris. The President's Bowl, sponsored by Mr. and Mrs. Donis Roberts, recognize the students who, according to the judges in the public speaking final rounds, won that final round. And this year's President's Bowl winner in United States Extemporaneous Speaking, receiving a $250 scholarship, is James Gow from Ridge High School in New Jersey, coached by David Ustremski and Daniel Norris. Congratulations to you. And now let's hear our winners in the A.C. Ely International Extemporaneous Speaking, presented by the Council on Foreign Relations. The Council on Foreign Relations provides in-depth analysis and background on the foreign policy choices and opportunities facing the United States and the world today. Students can research current topical and regional issues on the CFR website, in Foreign Affairs magazines, as well as in CFR books, task force reports, and many other publications. Now to your winners in international extemporaneous speaking. In sixth place, Ashuluk Rumkomar from Bellarmine College Preparatory in California, coached by D.D. Sullivan. And in fifth place, Tristan Wartunzel from Cypress Bay High School in Florida, coached by Rachel West and Daniel Shatskin. In fourth place, James Hugh from Mira Loma High School in California, coached by Joshua Stinson. In third place, and receiving a $350 scholarship, is Cameron Roberts from Mo and Jean Johnson High School in Texas, coached by Paige Summers. Placing second in international extemporaneous speaking and receiving a $500 scholarship is Catherine Rollins from the Potomac School in Virginia, coached by Harry Strong, Jeremy Metz, Max Hart, Alikia Tapapaka, and Reagan Koppel. And your national champion in the ACE, the International Extemporaneous Speaking, receiving a $1,000 scholarship on behalf of the Council on Foreign Relations is none other than Angela Wang from Plano West Senior High School in Texas, coached by Katie Leto and Roby Holland. The President's Bowl, sponsored by Mr. and Mrs. Donis and Lovelia Roberts, recognizes that student who, according to the judges in public speaking final rounds, won the final round. This year's President's Bowl in international extemporaneous speaking and receiving a $250 scholarship is Angela Wang from Plano West Senior High School in Texas, coached by Katie Leto and Roby Holland. Congratulations. And now we want to recognize the finalists in the Joe and Pam Original Oratory, presented by Patrick Henry Memorial Foundation Auxiliary. The 6 finalists in Original Oratory are recipients of the Making the Stage Scholarship provided by Joe and Pam Wyckoff. And because Joe and Pam believe the highest honor for students is to make the stage, each of the 6 finalists in Oratory, regardless of placement, will receive a $500 scholarship. The sponsor of Joe and Pam Wyckoff Original Oratory is the Patrick Henry Memorial Foundation Auxiliary. At the Red Hill Plantation in Southside, Virginia, the foundation keeps alive the traditions of Patrick Henry, America's great orator of the Revolution. Your winners in Joe and Pam Wyckoff Original Oratory are, in 6th place, Grace Halverson from Moorhead High School in Minnesota, coached by Rebecca Meyer Larson and Andrew Tichney. And in 5th place, Zita Okuwasaba from Tulsa, Washington in Oklahoma, coached by Sophia Alvarez and Kelly McCracken. In 4th place, Annie Ma from Durham Academy in North Carolina, coached by Crawford Lavoie and Kellen Kane. And in 3rd place, and receiving a $750 scholarship, is Karan Kalayaldu from Pineview School in Florida, coached by James Froelich. Placing 2nd in Original Oratory, receiving a $1,000 scholarship, is Presley Nutter from Comeau High School in Louisiana, coached by Jacob Simon. And the national champion in Joe and Pam Wyckoff Original Oratory, receiving a $2,000 Patrick Henry scholarship, is Addison Fulton from Albuquerque Academy in New Mexico, coached by Sheridan Josana and Michael Chavez. Now, the President's Bowl, sponsored by Mr. and Mrs. Donis and Lovelia Roberts, recognizes the students who, according to the judges in the public speaking final rounds, won the round. This year's President Bowl winner in original oratory, receiving a $250 scholarship, is Addison Fulton from Albuquerque Academy in New Mexico, coached by Sheridan Johnson and Michael Chavez. Congratulations.
The best, the greatest, the top trophy at the national tournament is the one named after our founder, Bruno E. Jacob. Bruno E. Jacob was the organization's founder and executive director for more than 40 years. The Pi Kappa Delta Bruno E. Jacob Trophy is awarded in his honor to the school that has earned the greatest number of cumulative rounds in main events at the national tournament. The trophy is endowed by Bruno E. Jacob's College Speech Society, Pi Kappa Delta. Next year's Bruno E. Jacob Pi Kappa Delta Trophy contenders are, with 1,737 points, Bozeman High School in Montana. With 1,753 points, Millard North High School in Nebraska. 1,757 points, Glenbrook North High School in Illinois. 1,763 points, Albuquerque Academy in New Mexico. 1,764 points, Cheyenne East High School in Wyoming. 1,825, Plano Senior High School in Texas. 1,838, Regis High School in New York. 1,942 points, Bellarmine College Prep in California. And 1,946, James Logan High School in California. But this year, with 1,949 rounds of competition, this year's winner of the Bruno E. Jacob Pi Kappa Delta Trophy is Eagan High School of Minnesota. In honor of the association's legendary coach, the Albert S. Odom Commendation is presented to the current advisor on record of the school receiving the Bruno E. Jacob Pi Kappa Delta Trophy. This year's recipient is Chris McDonald of Eagan High School in Minnesota. Congratulations. And now, for our main event interpretation awards. We'll start with program oral interpretation presented by Quaker Bakery. Your winners in program oral interpretation are, in 6th place, Logan Brown from McQuaid Jesuit in New York, coached by Raquel Cofield. In 5th place, Abigail Canalejo from American Heritage Plantation High School in Florida, coached by Joelle Davis, Ryan Levesque, Joseph Quintana, and Spencer Orlowski. In 4th place, Melanie Shang from Gabrielino High School in California, coached by Derek Ewell, Samira Hussein, and Jacob Wachinoki. In 3rd place, Ben Liu from Woodbury High School in Minnesota, coached by Suzanne and Dylan White. And in 2nd place, Cecilia Ulali from Westmore High School in Oklahoma, coached by Billy J. Ellis, Amber L. Justman, and Lauren Berry, and the national champion in program oral interp, receiving a $1,000 scholarship from Quaker Bakery, is Rashawn Lede from Camo High School in Louisiana, coached by Jacob Simon. Congratulations. The National Speech and Debate Association awards a $250 scholarship and an Interp Bowl to the student who, according to all of the judges in the final round, won the final round of the 4 main events in Interp. And now, this year's Interp Bowl final round winner In program oral interp, receiving a $250 scholarship, is Rashawn Leday from Comeau High School in Louisiana, coached by Jacob Simone. Let's call to the screen all of the humorous interpretation finalists. Humorous interpretation is sponsored by Western Kentucky University. Your winners in Western Kentucky University humorous interpretation are, in 6th place, Rima Jamos from O'Gorman High School in South Dakota, coached by Teresa Fester and Chloe Goldade. In 5th place, Samir Keswani from Archbishop Mitty High School in California, coached by Karen Cruz and BJ Cruz. In 4th place, Weston Tomlinson from Westmore High School in Oklahoma, coached by Billy J. Ellis, Amber L. Justman, and Lauren Berry. In 3rd place, and receiving a $250 scholarship, is Pranay Mathur from Millard North High School in Nebraska, coached by Sabrina Denny Bull and Jackson Gershkovek. In 2nd place, in humorous interpretation, receiving a $500 scholarship, is Oliver Laxo from American Heritage Plantation High School in Florida, coached by Ryan Levesque, Joel Spencer Orlaski, Joseph Quintana, and the national champion in humorous interpretation, receiving a $1,000 scholarship from Western Kentucky, is Jalen Muchishan from Bellevue West High School in Illinois, coached by Adam Jenkins, Russ Reidelberg, Leah Reidelberger, Julie Schlosser, and Anna Kurtz. The National Speech and Debate Association awards a $250 scholarship and an Interp Bowl to the students who, according to all of the judges in the final round, won the final round of the 4 main interpretation events. This year's Interp Event Bowl for the final round winner in humorous interp and receiving a $250 scholarship is Jalen Muchinson from Bellevue West High School in Illinois, coached by Adam Jenkins, Russ Reidelberger, Leah Reidelberger, Julie Schlossler, and Anna Kurtz. Congratulations. We shall move on to dramatic.
Mr. Sheep,
Yes, Mr. One.
we have a huge moment here.
We always do.
I believe, Mr. Sheep, that we have a national champion in humor. That national champion in humor also won the bowl. And that national champion in humor who won the bowl is also your National Student of the Year, Mr. Sheep at the NSDA. We call that the Triple Crown, Mr. Sheep.
The Triple Crown. He's won the Triple Crown. He is the king. 3 crowns. Thank you, Mr. One. I'm so glad I know that. Jalen, congratulations. Now let's move to dramatic interpretation, as if what you just saw wasn't enough. Congratulations, and let's find out our winners in Lanny D. and BJ Naglin dramatic interpretation, presented by Simpson College. Simpson College offers students a comprehensive forensics experience. Students choose from 18 speech events and 5 debate events, including public forum. Simpson College won the Pi Kappa Delta National Debate Tournament sweepstakes in 2016, 2018, and 2019, making them the reigning champs. In addition to a national travel schedule, the team provides great opportunities to get involved on campus and meet new people. Choose success. Choose Simpson. Your winners in dramatic interpretation are, in 6th place, Lily Wynn from Trinity Preparatory School in Florida, coached by Nathan Johnston. In fifth place, Chica Brown from Syosset High School in New York, coached by Lydia Esslinger. In fourth place, Jaina Jalo from Livingston High School in New Jersey, coached by Katisha Jalo. In third place and receiving a $250 scholarship is Gabrielle Kerr from James Logan High School in California, coached by Justin Currup and Tommy Lindsay Jr. In second place, in dramatic interpretation, receiving a $500 scholarship, Jacob Foster from Camo High School in Louisiana, coached by Jacob Simo. And the national champion in Lanny D. and B.J. Naglin dramatic interpretation, receiving a $1,000 scholarship from Simpson College, is Samaya J. Lee from Apple Valley High School in Minnesota, coached by Daniel Hodges. The National Speech and Debate Association awards a $250 scholarship and an Interp Bowl to the student who, according to all the judges in the final round, won the final round. This year's Interp Bowl final round winner in dramatic interpretation, receiving a $250 scholarship, is Samaje Lee from Apple Valley High School in Minnesota, coached by Daniel Hodges.
Mr. Sheep, Mr. Sheep, we have another moment, Mr. Sheep.
I can't believe it. Back-to-back moments.
It is literally back-to-back because I believe that Samaje has won the final round of dramatic 2 years in a row, Mr. Sheep. That's back-to-back.
That is back-to-back.
Each summer, at the end of the national tournament, for the past 17 years, I've walked out to the center of the stage, asked all of the seniors in the National Speech and Debate Association to please stand so that I could have an individual moment to talk to them and to give my senior charge. This year has been nothing short of completely different for all seniors. So I decided this morning, as we head into the debate final rounds and the speech final rounds tomorrow, to just sit down at the seat and in the office where the entire online national tournament experience began for me, and give you, the seniors, that annual charge. I guess my message to all of you this year is a little bit different. Instead of charging you necessarily, I want the seniors to know that you've charged us, your coaches, the NSTA board, the staff here at the association. You've charged us by taking what could have been a year-ending experience, a career-ending experience, and entrusting in us to provide an opportunity that would allow the national tournament to live on. It's because of you, seniors, that this national tournament was born. And it's thanks to you that this, the largest national tournament in our history, was not only born, not only thrived, but was a tremendous success. So what I want you to take away from this experience is the impact that you had on the future of speech and debate. And I also ask you to really think about and not forget that it was you and how important you are as seniors and what you did for the activity for your entire high school career that motivated this organization and the coaches throughout the country to take a chance and hold this event. We all know the stats. Seniors, you and the underclassmen that participated in this event blew all minds away on what was possible and what could actually happen. And you and your coaches entrusted in the organization to make that happen. So my message is, this won't be the last time that something like this happens, where your resolve or the people you work with and interact with, their resolve is challenged, and people around you will say that there's no way that can be done. There's no way that can be done because that's not how we do it. Or we don't have the capability yet. So how could we possibly in 3 months have the capability to do that? And I ask you seniors to come back to this moment. And I want you to remind yourselves what your coaches, what your organization, and what you decided to do with your resolve. And I ask you seniors to remember every day that the real catalyst for that entire decision, everything that has happened over the last 3 months to bring us to this moment, was all really for one single reason. Because your words and the words of every student that will come after you, those words matter. And in the face of every single challenge that you have, don't lose that core understanding, that core message, that words do matter. And there will be challenges to silence those words. Don't let it happen. Don't let anyone tell you that things cannot happen and that silencing those words doesn't matter. People will say, oh, for this one instant, everyone will understand. No. Learn from this moment that words matter so much that a group, a family, a community, a set of communities can move mountains to ensure that those words that matter are spoken. That's my charge to you.
And now, let's find out our final national champions. Please join me in congratulating the finalists in Sandra Silver Duo Interpretation. Come to the screen. In 6th place, Claire Jordan and Katie Leonard from Bishop McGinnis Catholic High School in Oklahoma, coached by Brett Young. In 5th place, Adonia Hill and Casey Bushin from Hattiesburg High School in Mississippi, coached by Raphael Scott Waldrop and Reginald Chapman. In 4th place, Kathleen Benson and Jack Reichert from St. Mary's Hall in Texas, coached by Joseph Muller. In 3rd place, and each receiving a $250 scholarship, are Yash Wadwicker and Ryan Horlick from Phoenix Country Day School in Arizona, coached by Nick Klimp, Tyler Reif, and Michael Tristano. In second place, in duo interpretation, each receiving a $500 scholarship, are Jordan Adams and Campbell Bernstein from Eastview High School in Minnesota, coached by Brady Beckham, and the national champions in Sandra Silver duo interpretation, each receiving a $1,000 scholarship from Colorado College, are Jessica Connors and Jonah Johnson from Apple Valley High School in Minnesota, coached by Daniel Hodges. The National Speech and Debate Association awards a $250 scholarship and an Intert Bowl to the students who, according to all the judges in the final round, won the final round of the 4 main events in interpretation. This year's Intert Bowl champions of the final round, the winners of the duo interp final round, each receiving a $250 scholarship, are Jessica Connors and Jonah Johnson from Apple Valley High School in Minnesota, coached by Daniel Hodges. Congratulations to all of our final round participants and to all of those of you who braved this very new online experience to participate in what will always be known as the 2020 Online National Speech and Debate Tournament. So, for myself and my absolutely stunning co-host, Ms. Jackie Young, and all of the people behind the scenes here who have made this event remotely possible, from the downtown Marriott in Iowa, we are excited as the countdown to you coming here begins immediately. Des Moines, 2021. Thank you and good night.